Voice of the People Television
is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being.
At the political dynamics generally in the country, I think it is very important for the political party structure, especially within the APC, to show leadership in all the political party platforms in Nigeria, for all of them. Because if you look at what is happening in PDP, it's scattered. When you look at what is happening again in Labour Party, all the major opposition candidates, parties are out. If you look at what is happening even in NMPP, the same confusion. So it is important for our party to reorganize itself, because we have damning challenges to face when it comes to the politics and the contestation that is coming. So the best solution is, of course, to listen to the agitation of the North Central, because the North Central have actually supposed to occupy that position. Remember, it was Abdullah Adamu that resigned, that now necessitated the way of Ganduje coming on board, and now Ganduje also honorably resigned. So I believe that North Central should take the seat. And I saw the list of those.
And all of them are from North Central.
All of them are from North Central, right?
Whether to go back to Nasarawa, or to go in the way of Plateau, or to go in the way of Niger, or Benue. Now, let's look at this contemporary arrangement. If you go to Benue, for instance, most recently there is even a little bit of challenges between the governor and the SGF. So, and it is the fact that we have confusion within the entire political party machinery in the country. We need a rancor-free leadership. And that is why if you go to Benue, you know the challenges that we're facing between the governor and the SGF. If you come back to Joshua Darie, although he is clean by the court and everything, but you know the challenges, associated with him, and also you know the challenges associated with Plateau State. Now, if you come back to Nasarawa State have had it, many times. So I think it's high time for us to shift the base. And that is why personally, I don't know whether he has expressed interest. Senator Sani Musa, I think Senator Sani Musa will fit in the bill. But he's a senator already.
He's a senator, but again, Abdullah Adamu was a senator when he resigned and took over the mantle of leadership of the party. And if you look at the political dynamics, the evolving dynamics of the 2027 election, we are looking at young people playing a significant role.
So is Sani Musa younger?
Actually, to me, he's more relatable. It's actually more relatable. I personally have a relationship with him. I have some conversations with him during the time when he declared for the Senate presidency. He has clarity of mind. He has this level of sense of justice. He knows how to carry people along, and he's blunt. When you look at his presentation in the floor of the National Assembly, this is what the Gen Zs want. This is what the young people want. We need somebody that is relatable, somebody that is blunt, somebody capable of telling the institution the truth, and also capable of listening to criticism. Our party has a lot of challenges, especially from the northern side of the country. And the loss of Muhammad Buhari, former president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, may Allah rest his soul, was also a serious contributing factor to this negativity, because he was supposed to hold the base. He was the soul of APC in the north. So his not availability is also an issue. And that is the more reason why we need someone at the center, the one that will carry out the APC engine, the APC machine, to be someone that people can trust. Because majority of the challenges we have is that the government have done exceedingly well in the area of economic and in the area of security, especially in the area of security. If you look at the security dynamics of this country today, we hardly have any attack on Abuja, Kaduna, or Lokoja, Abuja. Zero. We hardly have all this mass kidnapping that we used to have in schools. Out of the 75 bandit leaders that we have in the country, 72 are eliminated, by the current security system put in place by Nuhu Ribadu. Again, if you go back to Southeast, you don't even have again, we don't have any Biafra agitation. There is hardly any attack on any of the state institutions. If you go back to Niger Delta, we are currently in Ogoniland, in Niger Delta, where 30 years, for over 30 years, we were unable to penetrate into Ogoniland. And there is hardly any attack on the pipelines. And our oil production has increased to almost 1,700.
But did you hear?
Oppositions are like vultures. They are just waiting to cash out on the carcass. That means the more we lose, the more they gain. So they hope for our loss. And that is the more reason why we need to be very sincere with ourselves. And we need to make sure that the leadership of the party is somebody that is truthful, that is capable of listening to criticism and accepting the fact without any flattery, without any sycophancy. Because I believe now there is a lot of sycophancy around the president. People are telling him that things are okay. Things are not okay.
Hello there, good evening, and thanks for joining us on Political Lens. I am Chukwuma Okoro. We are broadcasting on Metro SLTV channel 264. On YouTube, we are Voice of the People Television. And on other social media platforms, we are at VOP TV Live. Well, join the conversation by calling in or sending WhatsApp messages to the number showing on your screen. Also, feel free to ask the guests constructive questions if you have any. On the show today, Tinubu is losing grip of the North, must stop listening to Sycophants. That is coming from an APC chieftain and a presidential aspirant of the All Progressives Congress in the 2023 general election, talking about Malam Adamu Garba. Oh well, a chieftain of the All Progressives Congress and former presidential aspirant Adamu Garba has raised concerns over growing disconnect between the realities on ground and the reports being fed to President Bola Tinubu by those around him, especially about how Tinubu and APC are perceived in the North. Speaking on a national TV program 2 days ahead of the APC National Executive Committee meeting, which held yesterday at the presidential villa, Garba warned that sycophants within the corridors of power are misleading the president by painting a false picture of stability both in the country and the ruling party. Well, Garba had predicted and warned that the APC should do itself some good by taking the national chairmanship position of the party to the North Central, where it was before Ganduje from the Northwest took it, after the exit of Abdullahi Adamu from the North Central state of Nasarawa. Though he had rooted for a young element in the person of Senator Obasani of Niger State, the lot still fell on Professor Nentawe Iwata from Plateau State of North Central, another young element compared to the likes of Ganduje, Abdullahi Adamu, and John Odigie Oyegun, who are considered as old horses. Well, speaking on the challenges facing the party across the country, especially the North, Garba called on the president to have a listening ear and stop listening to those who are not giving him the true picture of things. There is a lot of sycophancy around the party. People are telling him that things are okay. Things are not okay, Adamu blurted out. Well, he said that the recent formation of an opposition coalition under the African Democratic Congress, ADC, is a direct threat to the ruling party's dominance, likening the coalition to vultures ready to feed on the weakness of the APC. I quote him now, that's talking about the coalition, hope for our loss, and that is why we need to be serious, Garba cautioned. That is the more reason why we need a leadership that listens to criticisms and accepts facts without flattery or denial. Commenting on the current state of the APC in the North, Garba said the cracks within the party became more pronounced following the exit of former President Muhammadu Buhari from power in 2023, and especially after his death in early July 2025. He noted that Buhari's legacy of securing 12 million block votes from the North had already begun to decline before his passing. In 2023, according to him, the APC managed only 5.5 million votes in the North. Where were the 12 million votes, he questioned. Yet we won the election based on structures and strategy. But now, without Buhari, we must re-engineer those strategies to remain relevant. Well, according to Garba, about all the APC states in the North have one problem or the other, and it should be a source of worry for the APC ahead of 2027. Well, let's bring in our guests. We are joined in our Lagos studio here by Barrister Darlington Agomo. Barrister Darlington is a lawyer and political affairs analyst. Good evening, Barrister Darlington. Always good to have you on Political Lens.
Good evening, Mr. Okoro. How are you?
Very well, sir. Thanks for being part of this show. We appreciate your presence.
It's my pleasure.
Okay, now let's get into it. Barrister, let's start again from the next meeting of the APC, which held inside the presidential villa yesterday. Is there a moral justification for the president to hold his party's next meeting inside the presidential villa? I know we talked about it again, but people that sent comments to our YouTube channel were of the opinion that, look, that there is nothing wrong with that since he is the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, that he could as well entertain members of his party in the presidential villa. Barrister, between then, yesterday, and now, how much has your position changed? Or do you still maintain what you said yesterday?
Yes.
Let's have your quick reaction.
Good. I maintain my position because under this presidential system, you are not expected to use public institutions or structures for your own benefits. I remember when Bill Clinton wanted to use the bedroom of Abraham Lincoln in the U.S. to raise funds. So he opened it for people to go, and it became a tourist attraction and all that. But the U.S. government said, no, you can't do that. They shut it down. They shut it down. Even in the UK, their present prime minister, he was given a gift of about £6,000. The government said he should return it. That money does not, he used his position to collect that money. I mean, where things are working, you can see it. So, this one that Tinubu is doing is out of the equation. Because look at it this way. If you are now using it to hold your party next meeting, how about other political parties? Where will they hold their own? You are not supposed to use that place for your own party or selfish interests. So anybody support it must be APC members. They don't even see the implication. Look, they are going to have refreshment in that place, and Tinubu is going to provide it. On whose account? As rich as America is, their president cannot drink a cup of tea outside what was recommended for him. It's on record. You heard what the wife said the other time, Obama's wife, that if Obama sees something he likes elsewhere and say, look, I like this thing, that the suppliers will supply that thing immediately and drop it in the White House. And it is Obama that will pay for that thing. Because the government will not even bother. If he like, let him go and like the whole world, the whole designer clothes and all over the world. If they bring it to the White House, Obama will pay for it. So that is how it works. And this makes it possible for you to save money and then do things with due diligence. Because when you begin to destroy institutions like this, you are setting a very bad precedent. So that is why I find it very, very offensive that Tinubu will continue to do. In fact, the man that spoke, Garba, about what is going on in APC, he has not seen anything, no. The greatest problem of APC is what? Illegality and impunity. Their leaders act with so much impunity and arrogance. Leaders of APC, they are the problem of APC. It started with Buhari. Remember how Oshomole was removed? Oshomole, their party chairman, how he was appointed by Buhari and how he was removed by the same Buhari. Did he follow due process? The answer is no. Tinubu followed the same way when he removed Ganduje. So that is the real issue with APC.
Barrister, somebody like Adamu Garba, who is speaking out now, don't you think that he's speaking out on the basis of the North being shortchanged? How many people from the South have you seen, members of the APC in the South, criticize President Bola Tinubu's policies? So does it have anything to do with the North feeling shortchanged or shut out of governance?
No, I don't think so. The thing is that what the man is saying, is it true? It doesn't matter who says it. Some people, this regional sentiment. In fact, it is weighing heavily in this APC administration. Do you hear any Southwest criticizing Tinubu vehemently? No. It must be those who are bystanders, those who are watching from afar. They are the ones who will tell you the truth. And these are the people Tinubu should be listening to if you want to, end well. What the man is saying, is it true or false? The answer is capital yes, it is true. But when you are looking at the man and his antecedents, that is what he wants. Tinubu likes to be praised, he likes his ego to be boosted. He likes sycophants. That's the truth. He likes sycophants. And that is why sycophants are now lashing on it.
Okay, he's now sycophants are now surrounding him. Okay, yes. Barrister, we'll come back to all of that about the rift or the problems within the APC. Now let's talk about the emergence of a new national chairman for the APC in the person of Professor Nentawe Iwata from Plateau State of the North Central. Now, many people thought that the position would remain in the Northwest where Ganduje is from. Did you see this stroke coming from the president, and what do you make of it?
Yes, it is a nice move because the North Central has been shortchanged over the years. Even the Ganduje that took that position, it was strategic because the APC wanted to get the Kano votes.
But APC lost Kano.
Yeah, exactly. So that was why they now moved to the North Central.
Okay, Barrister, when you say that the North Central has been shortchanged, for how long? Because if you go back, Solomon Lau was the first national chairman of the PDP from the North Central. After him, you had Barnabas Gemade from the North Central. After that, you had, who again? Even the Adamu Abdullahi, that later became the national chairman of the APC, was at a point was also in the PDP. And remember that Dalong cried out some time ago that, look, that the North Central has become a use and dump vehicle. Anytime it is convenient for any political party, be it APC or, okay, recall about Audu Ogbe too, that anytime it's convenient for any of the parties, either PDP or APC, that they will just look for somebody from the North Central, use the person, and after the election, they dump him. So do you think that taking the chairmanship position of the APC to the North Central is some good to them, considering the fact that they have neither produced president nor vice president in the past 25 years, just like the Southeast? So what good is it for the North Central?
No, it's all about votes. Tinubu is looking for votes. Okay. That's just the only reason. But then, it will not pay off at the end of the day. It will not, considering what this particular region, the Plateau and Benue, has suffered in the hands of terrorists. They are going to vote against APC, with or without a chairmanship position. Those two areas, they are not happy because of what they have suffered, and the federal government is not even making any move to stop the killings. Their people are already angry. Remember that his banner or his posters were pulled down in Benue. Remember when he visited, they were being pulled down. So what Tinubu is doing now may not, like the North told him, this thing is coming too late. You know, it's coming too late. They now understand that they are only good at voting. They are not good for any other thing, and it's going to change. That's why I'm telling you that the way Tinubu started his administration is a minus for him. He wanted to apply Lagos style in Abuja. He forgot that he's dealing with the whole Nigeria.
But sir, what's the Lagos style?
The Lagos style is that he doesn't even bother. Whatever he says, his henchmen will carry it out, and nobody will oppose him. Nobody will say anything. It has been happening over the years. So he believes he will take it to the federal level and get away with it. That's what he did to the North, and now the thing has backfired. That was exactly what is going on in the North. And I've always told you, without anybody advising me or even talking to me, I have told you that APC will implode. And you can see it happening now. And I gave you my analysis. How can Tinubu, how can Tinubu impose his will on all these people that are coming from different areas of the country? All these state bedfellows is gathering for APC. How can he manage them? Because he's the sole owner of APC now. He's the sole owner. As long as there's no party structure in APC, Tinubu will shoot himself on the right foot. All this noise that is this and that, no. When the chips are down, they will all rebel against him. It has started already. Okay,
all right, Barrister, we'll come back to all of that, the problems within the APC. Let's stay with the national chairmanship that went to North Central, Plateau State, to be very specific. Now, some have described the zoning of the national chairman to the North Central, a good stroke, excuse me, like you said. How much political weight does a relatively unknown Iwata have to counter the influence of a well-known and tested politician like David Mark in the North Central? I remember David Mark has been Minister of Communications during the military, he's been military governor, he's been Senate president, and he supervised a very stable Senate. You know, so how much political weight, how much political value does this young president, I think he's about 56 years, he will be 57 in August, is he able to match, you know, or counter the influence of a tested politician like? Because it looks like the North Central has now become more like the swing zone to determine what happens in 2027. So how much weight does he have to contest or to counter somebody like David Mark?
This is the first time I'm hearing that name in the political space. And so I don't think we will make any impact. He will give Tinubu the votes he's looking for.
He was appointed minister last year by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He's a professor, you know, and he worked with INEC. He worked with INEC as a senior official of the INEC. Now he's the national chairman of the party. Very well, Barrister. How does that impact on the conduct of 2027 elections? If you have a national chairman of a political party who was once a staff of INEC, now helping the ruling party, to conduct a general election.
I said this is one mistake that the Tinubu have made that will not favor him. I'm telling you. Whoever advised him made a very wrong choice.
Really?
Yes, because like I told you, he's not a heavyweight in Benue politics.
But he knows the inside out of INEC.
No. You see, this time around, INEC may not be the trump card for Tinubu. I'm telling you, the way these people are, especially the North, you know that the North is spoiling for war. They have already told Tinubu that, look, if you rig this election in 2027, forget about Nigeria.
The man we are talking about is also from the North, the professor.
Which North? Not Central. I say with the way these people have been dealt with, security-wise, they will not be too willing to hand over their vote to APC. And this man is not a go-getter. He doesn't have that political influence in that region. I'm talking of region where you have the likes of David Mark. Which other name? T.Y. Danjuma. Okay. I'm talking of men who can wear the big stick and their people will listen to them. This man doesn't have that
clout.
The
secretary to the federal government.
He's from there.
But he's his party man. They are all from the APC.
Remember that Benue, the other man is fighting with the governor in Benue today. Is that not true? The secretary to the government, are they not fighting with the governor? So this man cannot be able to rein these people because they are big heads. He can't even look at them in the face and say he wants to make peace. They won't listen to him. That's the truth. So Tinubu was looking for somebody who doesn't have baggages, but he picked the wrong person. The man may be clean, but political wise, he's not a go-getter. He won't pull any weight in the North Central. He won't. The facts are there. That's the truth. Okay. They selected him. I don't even think it's an election. They just selected him and let him remain there. Maybe they think saying a professor job. No, this one is not a professor job.
Anyway, a lot of people believe that the president knows why he chose him. Let's move away from the...
He's always making the wrong moves.
At the end of the day, it works for him.
It has never worked.
Really?
He
was governor for 8 years. He installed a Buhari as president practically alone. Now he installed himself as president against all odds. So hasn't it always been working for him?
No. Destroying institutions in order to get victory is not a victory on itself. You destroy the institutions. You put people down. You made fraudulent moves, and you succeeded. Please, can somebody clap for you for that? Nobody should clap for you now because whatever you have done wrongly is bouncing back on you now. Can't you see that Tinubu is regretting most of the things he did?
Barrister, in politics, they always say that the end justifies the means. Does it look like it's not working for the president? I mean, he gets everything that he wants.
With what he's facing now, this is no longer working because there is what we call party structure, organogram, hierarchy of positions. Tinubu have destroyed all of them. He's now the sole owner of APC. That's the truth.
Okay, all right.
What happened.
Now, Barrister, let's move away from the position of the national chairmanship and get into the trouble that the APC is in, as talked about by Garba Adamu. Now, does it look like the president is losing grip of the North? In Kano, APC, Ganduje has been battling for political survival. Look at how he was eased out. He eventually lost. In Kaduna, El-Rufai has scattered the APC, and there is trouble between him and the governor. Now in Benue, the secretary to the government of the federation, former governor George Akume of Benue State, it has loggerheads with the earlier state governor. Now in Kwara State, Lai Mohammed, former minister of information, is at loggerheads with Rahman Abdulrazak, the state governor, and his Otoga movement and all of that. They don't see eye to eye. In Borno, the Shetima factor is playing out. Recall what happened when they went to endorse Tinubu and Zulum said, no, it's not going to work and all of that. And in fact, Ganduje had to run for his life. Now, in all of this, Barrister, does it look like, and the CPC block within the APC is more like has been dumped in the APC because a lot of them are leaving.
They pulled out.
Isn't it concerning that of all the defections from the PDP to Labour Party to win to the APC. All these things are happening in the South. How come in the North everybody is moving from wherever to the ADC? Does it look like the president is actually losing grip of the North as alleged by some pundits?
Not losing, he had lost. When the North came out and told him that, look, we are no longer with you. We are not going to back you. You think they were joking? The facts are there. And these are one of the things I was telling them between Atiku and Obi. They should read the handwriting on the wall. There is a way they North to behave politically, and you can't change it. If they say no, their no is their no. If they say yes, they will back you to the end. So now that they have told you we are not with you, they have demonstrated it in their actions. And there's nothing Tinubu is going to do about it. They have demonstrated it in their actions. Unfortunately, Tinubu thought that he was going to get away with it. You know, he didn't take them serious. He didn't countenance with them. He just felt that the North, after using them to get a victim, he cannot dump them like I've been doing. You know, in Lagos State, he changed the 3 deputy governors. So the North have told him, no, you can't do that to us. That's the problem. They had an agreement with him. I don't know exactly what is that agreement, but there was an agreement with Tinubu, and that was why they supported him, 100%. And when he got into power now, I think he jettisoned that agreement, and that was where the North said, no, you won't do it the second time to us. So that is where the problem is coming from. The question is, why does Tinubu think that he's clever than everybody? Why does he think so? It's not everybody you can take for a ride now. It's not everybody.
Okay, all right, Barrister, we have a call. Let's just take this call before we move on. Good evening and thanks for calling in. Your name and where you are calling from?
Good evening, sir. I want to sincerely appreciate your station once again. This is Enya calling from Lagos. Well. Your analyst, I sincerely, how will I put it? I sincerely disagree with his assertion. Sorry, but that's my sincere analysis. I sincerely will disallow that analysis.
Okay.
Now, will this election go? Mark my words. Mark it. Write today's date down. Yes, the North can be in disarray, but who will vote? Who will vote? What I see Tinubu planning is all opposition parties, he will scatter them, making APC relatively standing for the election. Yes, the North might be in disarray, but mind you, this is politics. Everybody has a price. Okay. Every politician has a price. First of all, self-interest. As I tell you, Northerners are well known for that. So when that time comes, money will go around. And this man talking, let's see whether you hear them by next year. Mark my word. Let's write this today down and see what happens.
All right, thanks for calling in, engineer. We appreciate your call.
Thank you
very much. Now, Barrister, do you have any reaction to?
I have. Some of the political permutation we have tried in the past that did not work. I wonder what they were. Remember when Tinubu was coming, they told us he was a master strategist.
Okay.
He will correct all the wrongs. He knows in fact, he was one that invented politics. He built Lagos. He did all these things. Tinubu, as of today, all those things, has it not fallen flat on the ground? Please tell me, where is the master strategy in Tinubu? If we were doing well, will all this gang up come up? The North would have still remained with him. That's a fact. If he had performed according to how they hype him, will Nigeria be where it is?
Barrister, the caller said it's not an issue of performance. That is an issue of by 2027, when money is doled out to people, that they will start singing a different tune.
That is where he got it wrong. We don't want a strong man. We want a strong institution. Which money is he doling out? Is it his own money? These are part of the people he had deceived in Lagos. Thank God he said it's coming from Lagos. You know, when Tinubu was in this Lagos, he made people believe that everything resolves around him. Okay. And they bought it. And today they are regretting it. Mr. Okoro, Lagos people are regretting what they created in Tinubu. That nobody can even cough in Lagos without Tinubu say so. Is that what you call deepening democracy? I thought he would tell me something else. The Lagos example have not taught them a lesson. They want him to go and do it the northern man will not accept it. In my yesterday program, a man called and said, look, as he's talking to us now, that somebody came to a cinema hall where they were watching film and all that, and then mentioned the up APC, Tinubu for 2027. They crowd there and lynch him immediately. He called, he said he will send the pictures. What does that tell you? As a matter of fact, how many governors in the north have defected to APC as they were doing in the south?
Barrister, that's a very big question, but we'll come to all of that.
So that will tell you the stand the north have taken.
Okay.
They are not shifting.
So why do you think that they are all moving to the ADC?
Because that is where they think that they can get something, because their son is the one organizing ADC.
Which son is that?
Atiku.
Barrister, do you think that the North trusts Atiku enough to hand over power to him? Look at the North Central. Do you think that the North Central will vote for Atiku en bloc?
In the case of any other choice, Atiku is the only person now. In the North today, who is that political figure that is towering above every other person? In the North, mention that person, if not Atiku. I mean, who can match him? He got the experience. He's a moderate. Why don't they trust him? He's a Fulani man. And you know how powerful the Fulanis are in the north. So what are you saying? If there's any other people that can rival that thing, let the person step forward now. Abi?
Okay, Barrister, before we move on, let's talk about Buhari's 12 million votes. This Buhari's 12 million vote, is it a myth or a reality? I mean, talking about 12 million votes. If Buhari had those 12 million votes all the while, why didn't he win the election before 2015?
That is part
so where did the 12 million votes come from?
That is part of the propaganda. Thank God somebody has debunked it. Please, I get time before, no be property.
Okay.
12 million votes, at what point? When was that? You mean the 12 million vote is still there, static?
Has it ever been there? That is the question. If it were there, why couldn't Buhari win an election?
Good. That is the propaganda. That when they say that.
So it's more like a myth, not a reality.
Of course, because somebody have taken details. Because this man that spoke now, he said that they came with 5 million votes.
5.5.
In the whole of the north, in the whole of the north. So where is the 12 million? There is the south that gave Tinubu maybe about the 3 million votes, Abi? 2.something million votes that made it to that 8 million vote that he got. So who is that person that is propagating this 12 million votes? There is no empirical data to that effect. Nothing. Even at that, do you think that with the death of Buhari, the 12 million votes are still there? When CPC members in APC are pulling away. And when they are pulling away with their votes. So who is talking about 12 million votes? This is how they deceive people. There is no 12 million votes anywhere. I get that before, no be property.
Okay, all right. Barrister, let's examine the options available for the president in picking his running mate. It's most Nigerians believe that that the president is done and dusted with Shettima. So, and they are saying that it's likely to be Kwakwanso. So that is why they had to move the national chairmanship of the party from the northwest to the north central to pave way for somebody from the northwest to clinch the vice presidential ticket. Because there is no way the northwest will produce both the national chairman and the vice presidential candidate. In the northwest, who do you think? People are fingering somebody like Kwakwanso. But Kwakwanso, the other day, about 3 days ago, blasted the APC and said, look, the president, you have failed this country. You have failed Nigerians. Somebody that is being propped up as a running mate in 2027. Would that person be blasting the ruling government, the current administration, less than 2 years to his being picked as the running mate of the president?
He was with the president the other time.
Okay. And 3 days after that, he blotted out.
Good. That means the discussion did not go well.
Okay.
It's as simple as that. Maybe in order to bring him in and all that, there may be behind the door discussions. That is, but even at that, Kwakwanso is not a heavyweight in the northwest, not to talk of the entire north. What was his vote in the last election? 1 million. And it's mainly from Kano. That's the truth. He's not a political heavyweight as such. They just wanted somebody, and he's not even in the grip of any NPP. He's not solely in charge of that. After all, in fact, I learned that they have suspended him for anti-party activities. So the man is not in charge. Whatever Tinubu want to do with the Northwest in 2020, it may not work out. It may not work out at all, because all the heavyweights who supposed to even help him there, they have all moved. They have shifted base. So he's just shopping. He's just shopping for the right person. Unfortunately, the North are not even ready to say this is the person you should choose now. They can't tell him. Okay, because they have already distanced themselves from him.
All right, Barrister, when you say that the North has distanced themselves from the president, does it look like there is no Northerner with the president? Recall that about a week ago, the president rolled out 8 new appointments, and out of those 8, 7 were given to the North alone. Mm-hmm. So do you think that the president is solely on his own in the North?
They told him that the appointment came too late. They told him that the appointment... They told him that the appointment came too late. Is that not what they told you? That means even if Tinubu give them all the this, they are still not shifting ground, because they know that he's playing pranks with them. That's the truth. They say somebody's around.
All right. Okay. All right. Now let's bring in our virtual guest, Mr. Ibrahim Momo. Mr. Ibrahim Momo is a lecturer. He teaches political science at Ambrose Ali University in Ekpoma, Delta State. Good evening, Mr. Momo, and thanks for joining us on Political Lens.
Good evening. Thanks for having me.
Okay, beautiful. Now, I don't know how far you have, or for how long you have followed this discussion, this conversation. We are discussing the fact that looks like the president has lost grip of the North. That is what some people are saying. And a particular APC chieftain, Adamu Garba, said that, look, the president has surrounded himself with sycophants, and that people are not telling him the truth, that everything is okay with the APC. Mr. Garba says, look, all is not well with the APC. What do you think? Do you think that all is well with the APC?
I would not go as far as saying that he has lost grip of the North, because we still do not have a united opposition. Until we get that unity, the president is still very likely in play in the North. I say that because, if you look at the last presidential election put together, Tinubu won the northern votes. There are 19 states in Abuja in the North. He had the majority of...
Okay, we seem to be having a network problem with the guest. So let's stay here in the studio. Barrister, let's talk about what Garba said about the president doing well in security and economy. Do you agree with him? I mean, he positioned it, he profiled it that, look, there is no bomb blast in Abuja. About 72 of the 83 terror kingpins have been decimated, that in the southeast there is no more agitation and all of that. But he didn't factor in a place like Benue Plateau that has become more like a killing field. And when he says that the president has done well in the economy, I wish I had him so that I'll ask him, Barrister, do you feel, is there anything that tells you that the president has done well in the economy, or that the economy has improved between 2023 and this moment? Is there anything that tells you that?
Nothing, Mr. Okoro, nothing. Nothing at all. Because if you look at the economy, which you have been, in fact, that is where I thought that Tinubu would have made his mark. Because he has a lot of money in his kitty. But where those monies are going to is what we don't know.
Apart from having a lot of money in his kitty, he is reputed to have studied economics and accounting.
And had first class.
No, I don't know about first class.
No, he said it. He said that he was given scholarship.
But he was also treasurer with mobile producing.
All these things. Nobody has.
So he should have had economic.
Good. So that will tell you that the lie is there. The lie is there. That is one of the problems Tinubu had. What he says is not what is on ground.
But he did well as governor of Lagos State. The revenue of Lagos State
did not. Please,
tripled under his watch.
No. He did not. If Tinubu did well in Lagos, Lagos would have been like London, with all the money. He said the revenue tripled. So where is the revenue? Where is the money? What did he do with it? Tell me. You can see. All these things are fabrications of the press. Now that the whole thing has blown up in the face of everybody, I wonder what they are going to say. Where is the success story in Lagos? Look at Lagos State. If you look at Lagos State from the sky, it looks like one kind refugee camp with all the sites looking like a war zone everywhere, unkept everywhere. There is nothing that will give you cheer if you watch Lagos from the air. So where is those development that they are talking about? Compare it when you see South Africa, Johannesburg, something from the air. They are incomparable. Or London, or New York. You can't come. Meanwhile, the money that has been made in this Lagos is 10 times more than enough to build these cities. So why did the Tinubu not replicate it in Lagos? Rather, he was busy acquiring land, acquiring wealth, building structures here and there. Go and take audit of the land audit in Lagos and see who owns most of the land, especially that Lekki Axis. Is that what you are telling me to celebrate?
Okay, so Barrister, essentially, you are saying that the president, that he's not done well in the economy. But the president yesterday at the meeting, at the next meeting of his party, said, look, that we inherited a bad economy, talking about the party inheriting a bad economy from its own party, the previous administration. But that economy has been stabilized by his policies and programs. Barrister, do you disagree with him?
I disagree, because
he unified the exchange rate, you know. They had about 6 windows and he brought them down to 1. And looks like there's some form of stability within the exchange rate. Okay.
Now, let me ask you, this thing he told you, can you verify it? Can you bring it to the table? Let us look at it. You cannot. Even himself, he's not sure of what he's saying. That's the truth. The same person is telling you that people are hungry, that the governor should do something about it. Look at the contradiction. Your economy, and you are now mandating your governors to do something.
Okay, all right. Barrister, please hold on to your line of thought. We've re-established contact with Mr. Ibrahim Momo. Mr. Ibrahim Momo, good to have you back. So I'd like for you to land on your thought. We were talking about the president not clearly, according to you, losing grip of the North. So can we hear you, sir? Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. I was saying that first, if you look at the last presidential election results from the 19 states and Abuja, the president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, won the majority of vote cast in the North. Secondly, is to say that he didn't get the majority of all the votes cast, but compared to other candidates, whether it was Rabi Musa Kwankwaso, or Atiku Abubakar, or Peter Obi, or other minor lesser candidates, with lesser scores, he had the overwhelming majority of votes from the North. Secondly, our second point to say that the opposition is still not ready for a unified, front. We are seeing, for example, Peter Obi still claiming is still very much a part of the Labour Party. We saw his running mate, Dati Baba Ahmed, attending Julius Abure's NEC meeting and noting that he was there at the behest or with the knowledge and permission of his principal, Peter Obi. It tells us that except we can kind of find a way to unify, the opposition can find a way to unify and come with a common front, the man will still have his way. That said, of course there are grievances, there are misgivings, there are, if you may, dissatisfaction being expressed by key figures in the North over several issues. One is the fact that there are sound bites, flying around that there's an attempt to replace the current vice president, with whom we are not sure. Also, one of the key supporters of the president in the run of the last election former governor of Kaduna State, Nasir Ahmed El-Rufai, is no more in his favor. I could say that aside from the president himself, if you count 3 other persons who work hardest to deliver him, first, the ticket of the party, and secondly, the presidency, Nasir Ahmed El-Rufai will count very favorably, considered among the top 3 persons. But today it's not with him anymore. So, and then when you look at the groundswell of individuals who are coalescing, who are interested, who are supportive, who are joining the ADC, from the Northeast, individuals Atiku Abubakar, from the North Central, David Mark, from the Northwest, Nasir Ahmed El-Rufai, from the Southwest, Abdurrauf Aribeshola, Ogbeni Rauf Aribeshola, from the South, Rotimi Chibike Amechi, and from the Southeast, we could say Peter Obi, though we are not sure where he is now. Even from the South, the former governor of Edo State, two former governors of Edo State, John Odige Oyegun and Osarieme Osumbo, one of whom, John Odige Oyegun, was also the national chairman of the APC at some point. These persons are now not members of the APC, but have now defected. So, yes, there is potential, but until the opposition can come together, I think Tinubu is still very much in play.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much, Mr. Ibrahim Momo. Now, I'm happy that you listed all of these people, talking about Nasir El-Rufai, talking about Rauf Aribeshola, Rotimi Amechi, John Oyegu, Peter Obi, and all of those people in the north, like Baba Ahmed, saying, look, we are fed up with this government. How much damage do you think that this collective can do to the presidential ambition of Bola Ahmed Tinubu in 2027? If they are able to put the acts together, do you think that they can ruffle the president's feather or the feather of the APC in 2027? Is it something that the ruling party should be scared of, considering the quality of people? And if you go to the North Central, you have people like David Mark, people like Dalong, and all those people who are saying, look, enough of this. Do you think that they can do much damage to the president's motive in 2027?
The reality is that a unified ADC that has everybody on board, whether you get a ticket or not, will give the APC a run for its money. But that is if they find a way to coalesce. Because if you have everybody want to be president and nobody wants to step down, then we have a challenge in our hands. But if they can, 2 individuals for me, Atiku Abubakar and Peter Obi, if they can, because they took 2nd and 3rd positions in the last presidential election, and collectively they produced over 5 million votes above what the president of Nigeria won with. The president of Nigeria won with 8.1 million votes. Atiku Abubakar got 6.9 million votes, 6.9 million plus votes. Peter Obi got 6.1 plus million votes. Together, that's over 13 million votes, as against the 8.1 million the president of Nigeria got in the last polls. Meaning that if, more than anything, if they can find a way, if Peter Obi can decide that, okay, for the greater interest of the country, I may want to step down my ambition, or Atiku Abubakar does the same, say, okay, for the greater good, I may now want to say, no, I can do without contesting.
Okay, all right. Thanks very much, Mr. Ibrahim Momo. But before we leave, I would like for you to chime in briefly on the APC NEC meeting held yesterday at the Presidential Villa that produced Professor Nentawe Iwata as the new APC chairman. How much political value does he have? And do you think that the president made a masterstroke by taking away the national chairmanship from the Northwest and dumping it in the North Central? What's your reaction? Quick one.
Quickly, I said one is a political featherweight. That's the truth. But I think it's a safe hand because Nentawe does not have baggage. He only contested for election and then he was not minister. With all due respect, I would have said the lame duck minister of humanitarian affairs, but I wouldn't say that. So don't quote me. But he has no baggage for himself. He's not a former governor who has built up enemies like Ganduje or El-Rufai or whatever. He's not a politically exposed person to the level that he has built friends and foes. So it's a safe choice, safe hands, maybe a lesser evil. But that is also a masterstroke, as you have put it, because it now opens the way for the Northwest to produce the vice presidential candidate of the party. And the Northwest is the biggest prize. Anybody who wins the Northwest most likely will win the presidency, because those Buhari days, even though my brother in the studio contested the 12 million votes, just with a CPC that was registered in 2011, Buhari got over 12 million votes in less than 6 months of registration of the party. And the of those votes came from the North, even in 2015 and 2019 when they won the elections. Okay. And then you add the votes from 4 states, Kano, Kaduna, Katsina, and Kebbi. Okay. The president already have 5 million votes.
All right,
so 4 states, Northwest. So I think that perhaps a masterstroke, and if they play their cards, they could work with him.
Okay, all right then. Thank you very much, Mr. Ibrahim Momo. We appreciate your presence in Political Lens. Barrister?
Yep.
Quick one, your concluding thoughts.
Yes. What I'm saying in essence is that apart from the North, the whole Nigeria is against APC and Tinubu. It's a fact. The whole Nigeria. Even the Northwest, where his home base, where he's thinking of getting more votes, they are not happy with the level of hunger and hardship. So how can the same people vote for Tinubu in 2027, please? Okay.
So you think clearly that the president is losing grip of the North?
In fact, yes?
You think clearly that the president is losing?
Yeah, he has lost Nigeria.
All right then, thank you very much. Now, this will be a good place to anchor this conversation. We've been discussing with Barrister Darlington Agommo, who is a lawyer and political affairs analyst. He's VOP in-house analyst, by the way. Barrister, thanks for coming to Political Lens. We always appreciate your presence.
It's my pleasure.
And also, we had Mr. Ibrahim Momo, who teaches political science at Ambrose Ali University in Ekpoma, Delta State. Thank you, Mr. Ibrahim Momo. We appreciate your presence on Political Lens. Now, on behalf of the backroom staff, the technical director, bass manager, sound engineer, and the ingest manager, I am Chukwuma Okoro. Up next is Issues with Jerry Apollo. Stay with us and don't go away. And enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye for now from me.